Welcome. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Modern Day Mystic Show. Our mission here is to help you turn whatever you desire into real-life manifestations by sharing our revolutionary technology in order to make that happen for you. We bring you such cutting-edge information through our resident wizard, Peter Schenk, and also through such magical guests each week that are really making a difference to improve our lives on a variety of levels. I am your co-host, Donna, along with the founder of the Modern Day Mystic himself, Peter Schenk. Peter, how are you today?
Doing great, Donna. How are you? Very, very excited tonight. We got an amazing guest coming up, but before we get to her, I'd like to show everyone the beauty and majestic Aquaware 5 custom intent. Aquaware 5 is just about ready for the world, and tonight, folks, you're going to see all of it in its awesomeness. So I wrote a quick custom intent to kind of show people what the 5 brings to the table in terms of speed and programming power. So if everyone, instead of doing a general MDM blessing, we're going to use Aquaware 5 to program your glass of water. And in that traditional fashion, where you put your attention, the intention will follow. So tonight, I wrote a custom intention. At least I thought I wrote one. Here we go. It says, bring love, healing, and compassion to the MDM show. And that is really one of the key topics tonight with our speaker. So again, everyone, where you put your attention, the intention will go. I'll count backwards, 3, 2, 1, and then we'll nucleate the water. 3, 2, 1. Water prep is running for 3.1 seconds. A user prep is running for 3.1 seconds, and now we are nucleating the intent into water. 13.1 seconds. And folks, down here, you'll notice this number. This number is your intent in its purest form. When Source communicates intention through us, where you put your attention, we need to take the human equation out of it. That is a mathematical model that we use in Aquaware 5, and it takes your intent, washes it through 3 levels of a proprietary algorithm, outputs that number, and you are consciously directing that number in the water, and that number is the purest form of your intent. Everyone go ahead and drink your Aquaware 5 water and enjoy it. Okay, we'll switch back here. There I am. So Donna, please tell us about our guest this evening.
Gladly. So tonight we have a very important guest with us. Very excited. She is in the UK, so we of course need to give her a very warm welcome because it is very late there. I think it's about 1 o'clock in the morning there. But let me tell you about Rashmi Khilnani. She's got 3 books. She's the author of 3 books: The Divine Mother Speaks, Buddha Speaks, and Shiva Speaks. She is not only is she an author, but she's also co-producer of the movie I, God. She is an energy master, a healer, a teacher, and a channel. So I'm, of course, going to let her talk more about herself.
Donna, thank you. Rashmi, how are you? Good evening.
Good evening, guys. Thank you so much for having me on your show. It's been a lovely day today in London.
Yeah, we're experiencing some London weather right as we speak over here on the East Coast, 50 degrees and rainy. So you're an author of several books. You co-produced a movie called I, God. So tell us a little bit about yourself, please, before we get into the books and the movie.
Where should I start? Well, basically,
at the beginning.
I was married to a very rich businessman, and I sort of had homes across the globe. And at a young age, I realized that, what people consider success is not the be-all and end-all of life. And so I gave up the so-called kingdom, as my mother said, and I studied meditation, and then I came to London and started at zero, and teaching meditation, went on to studying Reiki, becoming a Reiki master, and then went on to studying all the different streams of Reiki energy mastery. There are many, many beyond Usui and Tibetan, and then teaching the Reiki masters and various people across the globe. And then 10 years ago, I got breast cancer after having helped facilitate the healing of many in cancer. And so I've been working with the Ascended Masters in the Arctics, and Mahavata Babaji's being I really, I'm guided by it, which is sort of synonymous with my higher self. And straight after I recovered from the allopathic route, which he asked me to take, because he wanted me to go through being cut and chemicalized and having radiation and tamoxifen. And basically, in Christchurch, he said that this is what we've done to Mother Earth, and I would go through this and, as a holistic teacher, bring Reiki into the realm of the hospital, but also show transmutation. And I barely recovered, and he said, now go to America and channel these books and make a film on unity consciousness.
So there are obviously different types of energy out there, and you've tapped on a couple of them, being a Reiki master. I'm interested in the Ascended Masters part of what you did. Can you tell us a little bit about that, please?
Well, I'm not actually just a Reiki master. I'm a teacher of Reiki Masters, so it's kind of, into REM, which is Reiki Energy Mastery, which covers Seiki, Seishim, Sekhem, which are Egyptian systems, and so on. So, your question was again, Peter?
Could you tell us a little bit about your experience with Ascended Masters? I've worked with them quite a bit over the last.
Yes.
Yep.
So as I was on my journey as a psychic surgeon, and as I went through the different initiations of Reiki Energy Mastery and different streams of Reiki Energy Mastery, which cover various denominations across the globe, Egyptian Mystery School and Chinese Mystery School and Kuan Yin. These beings started coming through in the healing sessions and psychic surgery, and while I initiated, different students into different levels of Reiki and other streams of energy. I teach 20 modalities of energy medicine besides, not just Reiki. And so these beings were coming through, different beings for different individuals. And then particularly Mahavata Babaji started appearing to me in my studio in London, transcendentally. And then Satya Sai Baba, and a lot of it is covered in my third book, Shiva Speaks, Conversations with Mahavata Babaji, of my personal journey, but it's a bit of a long story, really. And then the archangelics as well, so like Metatron and Archangel Raphael and various other beings as well. And so that's how I'm able to channel these different beings. And ultimately in unity consciousness, all is one. So that's well explained in my first book, The Divine Mother Speaks, The Healing of the Human Heart. Sure,
let's focus on the book, The Divine Mother Speaks. I have a couple questions here. How did we come to a deeper acceptance and love of ourselves and others in the book?
Well, there are various tools, such as, breathing, connecting to nature, connecting to the play energy, and then the various qualities of heart energy, and how to begin to open the heart by connecting through the pranic tube that connects all the chakras in a straight line down to the center of the earth, and then up through the heart into the cosmos, and to bring these energies into the heart and then open the 1,000-petal lotus of the heart chakra, and then connecting to the archetypal energies of the universe within, and understanding the difference between absolute and relative reality, and sound signatures and numbers. It's a very comprehensive book, which really covers energy mastery made simple, the mystery school teaching made simple, for dealing with everyday life and bridging the spiritual and the mundane.
Yeah, that all happened to me pretty quickly early on when I started my adventure. I had no clue about anything in the world, how it really was. And I got all of my teachings at the speed of thought in a millisecond, and my life completely changed for sure. In the book, you mentioned the Christ consciousness. Can you explain to the listeners this evening what that is and how we come to a deeper state of understanding the Christ consciousness?
Right. Well, Christ consciousness is not based on, Christianity or religion or anything like that. It's just a New Age term that's used for unity consciousness. And even quantum physics explains now that we are part of the unified field of consciousness. And there's a whole chapter in the Divine Mother Speaks about the difference between absolute and relative reality. So in absolute reality, all is one, and that is, the bedrock of reality within us, deep within us. And so on the periphery, we can be the personality self and individuals, which is, the paradox of it all. And at the center, it is the same one energy, which is the meaning of Namaste, which is the God Goddess within me bows to the God Goddess within you, or in Lakesh, which is you are another me. Does that make sense? I mean, I know you know a lot about all of this, Peter, already.
Not me. That's why I have people like you to talk about it. I don't know anything about it. That's why. That's why I have people like you to speak to it. No, I know quite a bit, but my understanding is vastly different. I don't apply definitions to what I do. I don't apply statistics. In my realm, what has helped me evolve and move forward and grow is keeping myself extremely ignorant to the way others do and teach things. In a way, I've become my own master by teaching myself through my own mistakes. And through the products and services that I offer.
Well, that's experiential understanding is extremely important on the path. So for you, what is unity consciousness? Just the feeling of it, obviously that's whatever we define, we limit, and these are the huge metaphysical experiential understandings as opposed to really just talking about them, but that's the beginning.
I keep myself open to process other people's information, and things that resonate with me, I'll keep. Everything else I'll kind of discern through and discard. My whole way of being is really just being open and listening. And, my path has been extremely fast paced in my evolution, my personal evolution, and obviously in workshops that I do with people and products that I create. And how I deliver those, they're all born out of love. I love what I do. I love changing people's lives. And, early on, I was becoming overwhelmed by doing one-on-one sessions with people. So I needed a way to create something that could help people in mass. And the idea came to me two different ways. One was through Dr. Emoto's work, where he could change the structure of water based on frequency. Well, I have access to, the whole universal library of frequencies for everything. And I can very quickly create those and embed those frequencies into images. And I knew I could do that, but I didn't quite understand how I could move the frequencies from the computer, if I was to generate them on there, into water. And the more important part was the water didn't have to be a glass of water next to the computer, or a tub of water, on the other side of the house, or a case of water on the other side of the planet. My understanding was that if everything... I'm sorry?
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry. And you sort of said that at the beginning, attention plus intention equals manifestation.
Yeah.
And so that's always beyond time and space. That intention carries frequency across time and space even.
Oh, absolutely. So, my path, I had 20 years of training in one of the world's largest banks on Wall Street in technology. And I took, my background is in engineering, and I took my skill set and I created a product that is now 10 years old, or will be 10 years old, which is my flagship product, Aquaware, that today has over 1,000 pre-canned intents, over 12 different categories. It also allows you to custom create your own intent, which we did earlier in the show, is the MDM blessing. And, I I have other products coming out that really defy logic. I mean, because I kept myself open, because I keep myself open, it has allowed me access to a vast amount of information that has been lost for a long time. And I'm able to package it up very beautifully and deliver it in a modern day context with state-of-the-art technology. Now, it's interesting because about 8 months ago, I received a device that gave me an unbelievable idea. And Aquaware has the ability, we call them force field intents, okay? It has the ability to create a force field in the humidity bubble around your vehicle. And we have, testimonials of some really amazing things that have happened when people drive with this force field intent around their car in the humidity bubble. So the idea was born for a product that we have coming out here in a month or so, called the HFA, or the Harmonic Field Amplifier. And what it is it's a new way to travel. I downloaded the blueprints to a device, which is built out of solid copper and has a silver band around it of pure silver to unify the field. And on the top of it, it has a spiraling vortex that goes right down to the middle with a little hole, and then it has a counterclockwise spiral vortex on the other side. And on one side, it has, the golden ratio, and on the bottom, it has the 7 sisters of the palladium. And what it does is you put this in your car, and it takes all of the energy in your car that's non-harmonic, and it washes it through the 0 point and replaces it as harmonic energy. Now, what does that mean? And I'm going out on a limb, and I'm saying way too much about this product because I still haven't gotten the prototypes, but, once it's in your car, your tires aren't going to wear as fast. Your oil's not going to break down as fast. Your brakes aren't going to wear as fast. It's going to take any negative energy in your car, and more importantly, you as the individual, because once it binds or bonds with you, it's yours forever in your vehicle. It takes all that energy and washes it through and puts you in a complete place of blissed out peace and serenity. It's almost like wrapping yourself in the womb of serenity. And this is a product that's going to be commercially available here in the next couple of months. So this is my path. As you make movies and you write books, mine is creating technology, the stuff that science fiction books are written about. But
Well, I really am working with energy all the time. So and that's, we are co-creators on this planet. So it's about co-creating, whether you co-create and healing, which is making all incomplete, whether it's done through the word, or it's done through the film, or it's done through radio, or through art. I paint as well. I dance, I sing, I use sound signatures. So there are many different ways in which all of us, once we open our heart and begin to use a much higher frequency of energy, because the mind is extremely limited, then all things are possible to all people on the planet.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And, what's interesting is every professional that we have on the MDM show has at some point in their life a turning point that put them on this path to help others, create things that help others, build a better world, if you will. And the interesting thing, so we've been doing the show for about 18 months now, and the amount of people that are waking up is accelerating now, which is amazing.
Very exciting. It's very exciting.
It really is.
And that's why the Ascended Masters asked me to channel these books for the now time, asking questions. The second 2 books, Buddha and Shiva, are asking these archetypal energies from within, questions on how to deal with current changes and the acceleration as we wake up, and the, destabilization, and many things that are going to have to crumble for the new systems to happen. And that's what's really covered in the Shiva Speaks book, because the Shiva energy destroys the lower octaves, so that the higher frequencies and harmonics can come through.
So on point with Shiva Speaks, what is the dawning of the age of Aquarius?
Well, we've been through a 26,000-year cycle of sleep, and now it's time to wake up And so 2012 was like a marking point for the so-called end times. And the end times doesn't mean the end of the planet. It really means the end of time and space as we know it. And time is accelerating, and I covered this in, I think, most of my books, particularly the Divine Mother Speaks. Time is, simultaneous, like various tracks playing at the same time on a CD. And that's why we were able, through cellular memory release, and just I'm able to just, as a psychic intuitive, just be able to read people's past lives or whatever it is. But ultimately, it's about the now moment. And this is the wake up time, and the age of Aquarius is this wake up.
So I have a question for you.
It's about everybody waking up to unity consciousness, which is called Christ consciousness, which is called the unified field of consciousness, which is called absolute reality. There are many names for it.
So do you really think time is speeding up, or the way we consciously perceive time is changing?
Well, as I say, time, space are malleable constructs. And in 3D reality, they're very linear and rigid. But we're moving out of 3D reality, and we are multidimensional, and we're becoming much more aware of our multidimensionality. That's covered in all three of my books, with the three different slants of the archetypal energies, explaining that. But basically, it's based on universal law. All the dimensions exist simultaneously at the same time, but it's like a TV. Are you tuned into that channel or not? And now many humans on the planet are already, moving into this fourth to fifth dimensional frequency, where time and space start becoming, it's a construct, because you're simultaneously in 3D reality as well. But within 5D reality, time and space don't exist. And those are the spaces in which, people say, well, I don't see Shiva or Buddha or Jesus or Metatron or Melchizedek or Kuan Yin or all the beings I work with are separate to me. I go into the unified field of consciousness, which is within us. And from that space, these archetypal energies can come through.
So what energy are you feeling now, right now in the moment?
What energy am I feeling?
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling the energy of nothingness, from which I'm allowing the answers to come through, not in too intellectual a fashion, but through the heart energy, and to shift their consciousness within free will and the higher good. So whoever listens to the show, it's not like they're being forced into some other reality, but within their free will and their higher good, they can listen to some of these words and have an actual shift of experiential understanding.
It's amazing.
Which may happen now, or it could happen later.
Well, it's interesting to watch how the energy flows through you and how it affects the listeners.
How do you perceive the energy right now? It's nothingness and everythingness at the same time. How are you perceiving it?
Well, I perceive things through visual sight. I put my attention on it, and then it reveals itself to me. And after the question was asked, I started watching you, and you have 3 streams that come in from behind you, physically behind you, and they're all in the light pink to white spectrum, and they come right through your heart opening. And as you speak, your heart's filtering a lot of it, and it comes out the other end, and everyone listening to the live show now and the recording afterwards is getting a taste of that, which is pretty amazing. Everyone processes it.
Which is like a tuning fork, you see. So what happens is that when that heart energy is open, that's why they say, just one Buddha, one Jesus shifted all of consciousness, because when that heart energy is fully open, then it becomes like a tuning fork, and other forks can start resonating at the same frequency within free will and the higher good, because now we are in a free will zone. And so, Christ Yogi Mahavatar Babaji, which my third book is about, he, she, androgyne, it's a being, it's a divine emanation of entire souls in a body here now for the sake of raising of consciousness. But I'll just say he is here to help and facilitate the waking up of all 7 billion into unity consciousness. And when we reach the, what is it, 10th monkey syndrome right now, such a high space, I can't remember what, the 100 monkey syndrome, then we carry everybody with us. And so that is happening more and more. And that's why we're all to think that, at the moment the polarities are playing out as well very, very strongly. So, we are going to have some form of economic collapse, and all these different things are going to play out. Now, we, light workers like myself, I'm working morphogenically all the time. And it's not really work, it's just holding the energy of beingness, stillness, and less doing and slowing down, because as time speeds up, slowing down is important. And so hopefully these changes won't be as challenging as they might, but that remains to be seen.
Where are we with the 100th monkey?
I feel like we've sort of reached critical mass, but it's difficult to answer it in a linear way somehow. I feel that if we say, we've reached critical mass, then the light workers might stop the work, and the human waking up. It's all important for us to keep moving, as the Hopi prophecy says. Go to the center of the river. This great force is coming. And stop clinging to the side, otherwise you're going to be torn to pieces, So as this change is coming, the photonic energy, the waking up of our DNA from 2 to 12 helix, the solar flares, the beings like the Syrians and Pleiadians that are here to facilitate this, our inner heart energy is waking up, after the sleep cycle. Then it's best to go with change, and so that she talks very much about truth, simplicity, and love. And I think simplicity is the biggest piece for you right now, particularly in the West. Because the mind is very complex and creates a lot of problems. And all the solutions, all the answers, all the magic, eventually even these gizmos that many of us are creating, like yourself, they won't be needed. We won't need our technology because we are so much greater than all of this.
Don't say that now. Say that in 15 years.
You see, because it's a bit like if you try and imagine the time before we had the internet. And, we can't imagine. I mean, we couldn't have imagined what's happened with our little iPhones and so on. And it's the same, 15 years from now, we can't imagine what it might just be, 2 years or 1 year. It's not a linear thing anymore. It all depends on the collective consciousness.
I remember
on individual consciousness.
I remember.
It's not really dependent on prime ministers and presidents anymore.
I remember time before the internet. I took my mom's car out one night and forgot to tell her. And when I got home, I didn't call her. So she broke a spoon over my butt, my Italian mother. So yeah, I remember times before the internet.
There was no bending reality in that one.
What I really meant was that we couldn't imagine what an iPhone could do, and all this such stuff is what I meant it in reverse, really. Sorry.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about your third book, please. The Buddha Speaks.
That's the second book. So
the second book,
the first one I was very guided because I grew up in ancient yes, I'm now talking out of my different lives. I grew up in ancient current Egypt, and the first book is The Divine Mother Speaks, Healing of the Human Heart, is the goddess Hathor, and it's Egyptian mystery school as well. So I spent the first 6 years of my life there, and as a child, my mother said I used to talk to a cow in the sky, and that was the goddess Hathor. Now, in initiation, I've had a recall of coming down through Venus and down to Earth for really to work with heart energy. And I met Tom Kenyon in Orcas Island when I went to stay at Richard Dark's house. And that was very exciting because he's written the Hathor material and he works a lot with sound and things. And he felt that he saw these 13-foot Hathor beings all around me. And so that was quite interesting. So the second book was at the request of my publisher, Robert Friedman, who's, created Hampton Roads Publishing and published Neale Donald Walsch's books, etc. And I didn't think I would, but then I came back to London and this voice started talking to me, and it was my Buddha nature within me speaking. And it was a very powerful energy. The energy is always different, you know, the Divine Mother energy is different to the Buddha energy, is different to the Shiva energy. And so that book came about, and it's about detached witnessing, non-doership, and asking Buddha the questions in the now moment about, you know, how he would cope in this day and age with the situations that we're being faced with as a collective and individually.
So shifting gears out of the books, you co-produced a movie called I, God. Can you tell us a little bit about that, please?
Well, while I was going up and down to the States, this voice within me said, make a film on unity consciousness. I saw the roof over my head after I recovered from the cancer, just to serve humanity. And since then, I've been living in hotels, and, you know, the Shiva path is like being on the laser's edge, and so that's the way it is for me. That's what I've chosen. And so I met Woody Allen in London, and I thought, well, I said to him, let's make this film, a spiritual film, and he thought I was a Bollywood chick, and so he said, you guys have stolen all our scripts. Anyway, that didn't happen, and I went to America for one of my books, and I was doing a lot of work in America, morphogenically, and with the spiritual leaders of America, and this was all told to me, and I didn't know any of them before I went. It all started unfolding, and then Robert Friedman, my publisher, said, why don't you make this film with Neale Donald Walsch and myself called I, God? And so I went to see Neale Donald Walsch, and that's how it all came about. And we've got, you know, Deepak Chopra, Amit Goswami, Greg Braden, people off the street in America, the heads of different religious denominations speaking about these 5 questions about do you believe in right and wrong, absolute right and wrong, heaven and hell? Is there a judging God up there in the sky? You know, what is the purpose of life? What does God want from us? And so it's quite a deep film, really. I mean, I would have made a different type of film, a bit more mystical and a bit more connected to the goddess energy, which is not female, but to do with the being, allowing, intuitive, you know, co-creative side.
So you say
it does have a deep relevance.
You have another movie, possibly, you're talking about?
Well, yeah, I suppose so. But at the moment, I've just been doing a lot of painting and dancing and radio and just morphogenic work as well. That's really, really important. There's some of us slowing down, you know, and not always being busy, because that's a disease on this planet.
Rashmi, are you okay with taking some questions from our listening audience?
Sure.
Okay, Donna? Okay.
So Peter, I put that in the chat there for you since Rashmi was having a hard time hearing from me.
You can go ahead and read it. She'll be able to hear it.
Okay. Now, Rashmi, this is from Becky. And Becky is asking about Reiki. And she says, I was attuned for Reiki by a Usai Reiki master 2 years ago. I have a trust issue regarding myself helping others and others who want to help me. How do I address this issue?
Sorry, what was the question, Peter?
So basically, the question is, this woman has a trust issue regarding herself helping others, and
yeah,
she wants to know, you know, how can she address that?
And she's a Reiki master.
And she's a Reiki master.
Oh, so she wants to begin to get onto a Reiki path.
It sounds like that. She's asking, you know.
Yeah, so basically it's like, you know, just jump in the pool and you'll learn to swim, basically. Because,
Sink or swim, huh?
When I became a Reiki master, I thought, until I'm perfect, I'm not doing this. And, you know, I was with a very world-famous Reiki master, and there was quite a lot of BS that happened, and as a result, all the things he promised didn't happen, and suddenly I was, out of it, and I realized my first student appeared. It was a policeman in London, and I didn't look back from there, so it's just like, it's just like anything in life, working on going within and asking for help from the archangelics and the ascended Reiki Masters, Dr. Yusui and all, and asking for that energy of trust and, increasing self-love and going for it, step by step, baby steps.
So, Rashmi, why do we have an issue?
There are thousands of Reiki Masters, there are millions that have received Reiki, and there are a few thousand, REM Masters, which is the 7 different streams of the Reiki, and that's a different level. But, this is one of the biggest tools that is being used on the planet right now by the archangelics and the ascended masters to wake up humanity. It's non-denominational. There are some politics there, unfortunately, which is why my book, The Divine Mother Speaks, is Reiki Energy Mastery Made Simple. And a lot of the radio show hosts I work with are all Reiki Masters as well. So, it's like I didn't want to create a new system of Reiki because of that. I just wanted to create a book that anybody could buy, download on Kindle for a few dollars, and re-fire their encodings, because these books have the energy behind the words. And these are transformational energies. It's nothing one doesn't already know, because there's nothing out there. Ultimately, everything is within us, and we're just re-remembering. So go for it, girl, and my blessings will send energy and blessings for you to do that.
I have a special request for you, if you don't mind. Is there something you can do with the listening audience tonight? Whatever comes to mind.
Well, we could do a heart opening if you like, just basically very simple.
Okay.
Would you like that?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so let's just, everybody within free will and the higher good, let's just take a deep breath in and a long breath out, and let's breathe in trust and let's breathe out trust. And this is a huge piece for all of us now. It's trusting, particularly as we're all moving into the unknown. So feel a lovely bubble of golden light protection around you. So you're feeling, and then connect with a deep breath down through the conic tube. If you had your thumb and index finger together, that is the diameter of this tube. It goes in a straight line, not like the Kundalini energy, just in a straight line from your heart. Let's chant an Om down through the root into the center of Mother Earth, connecting to Gaia's energies. Breathe in deep. And then connecting from the heart through the crown chakra, through the soul star chakra, up into the galactic center, into the cosmos. Breathe in deep. And then breathing heaven and earth into the heart through the pranic tube. Breathe in deep. Feel the two energies come into your heart. Take a deep breath in. And on the out breath. So as we breathe in heaven and earth, on the out breath, let's open the 1,000 petal lotus of our heart within our little bubbles of protection, and the aura can go out as far as you like. Miles, or a few inches or feet, whatever feels comfortable. Breathe in deep. All of this is effortless and easy. Just observe, how much does the heart flower want to open? There's no right and wrong. Is it opening a little bit? Is it fully opening? Is it just like a bud? Take another deep breath. And now we're going to chant the Seishim symbol for unconditional self-love and love for the unified field. Mayurma. So breathe in deep. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace within, peace without, peace to all beings everywhere. Just put your hand on your heart for a moment. Feel yourself in your body here now. Grounded heart energy. Open electromagnetic energy, which is way, way more unlimited, totally unlimited, connects to all that is. The whole universe then is within you, and all knowledge and information is within you, and you are whole and complete and balanced in your male and female energies. Feeling that love, feeling that peace, feeling that grounded love and peace in your body, embodying it here now. You come back into the space, feeling the energy of trusting and relaxing as you move forward in your life, so that no matter what comes, moment to moment, you will connect with your heart and your groundedness, and right action will happen. Thank you.
Thank you. That was very beautiful. Interesting side note. I didn't.
Did you feel that?
I didn't participate in it because I was in observer mode, watching what was happening around you and through you. And I don't know the name of it, but instantly, as soon as you put your attention on it, even before you started speaking, you had this field, a unified field, I guess, pop up around you. And if you were to look at it sideways, it would kind of look like an egg.
Yeah, I just got that vision as you were describing it. Wow.
And more importantly, when you were winding down, outside of that field, you had 12 beings appear holding hands all the way around you as it was flowing. That was pretty amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
So, did Donna feel that?
Oh yeah.
You know, very, very much. I did feel that. Thank you. As I was going to ask folks in the chat about the energy that they were feeling. So folks in the chat, definitely tell us what you were feeling. And that I could feel that just through my legs, and then from my knees down, lots of sensation.
Right. Right. Well, see, this grounded piece is so important for people on the path, because a lot of the so-called New Agers, Old Agers, whoever it is, you know, the people are moving around like space cadets, and we have to be grounded in order to create heaven on earth, in order to co-create, in order to become the divine humans that we are now. And this experiment hasn't ever happened in the universe before. So it's about art making the maker. In other words, you know, that's a Barbara Marciniak channel piece from the Palladians, out making the maker. I love it. And it's like, you know, even Prime Creator doesn't know exactly which way this is going to go. But Mahavatar Babaji does talk about Mahakranti in that body that he appeared in the 80s. He talked about that. And that is the inner conflict, which is, you know, the war between the head and the heart, and it's about bringing the two together. So the Buddha Speak book can help people through the, you know, opening the third eye and increasing their mind to buddhi mind, you know, to being the detached observer of the mind, body, and the intellect. And the Divine Mother book is, you know, all of energy mastery made simple. It's for advanced students and beginners of energy medicine, of healing oneself, of the breath, of the importance of the archetypal energies, and so on. And the Shiva book is all about truth, simplicity, and love. They're all about love, really. And about how to cope with this colossal change that we're all going to face. We're facing the intensity is ever increasing. Do you guys find that?
I have, for, you know, the better part of 2 decades, I've observed it as it has been unfolding. And what's interesting, though, in my path, I find that when the pressure builds to a point that is going to stop me from moving in a direction, it just dissolves and I'm allowed to move through it. Now, and that comes in many forms. That could be the answer to, something I'm working on, or just having a brain lock. That comes in the form of maybe someone challenging what I'm doing. It comes in many, many forms. Yeah, so I'm very, very observant of that.
Yep. So, these sort of shows are just so important, and everybody can tune into this stuff and, connect to these high energy books that have the energy behind the word. Because just being intellectual with spirituality, energy medicine, or the holistic way, or the metaphysical way, whichever word one wants to use, it's beyond words. And it's beyond language, and it's beyond comprehension of the mind. It's important to embody these energies, however simply we do it, and just take the baby steps, and then suddenly you're in grounded heart energy, and then every kind of synchronicity, synergy, magic, and all the rest happens. Yeah. The film I got is really about unity, to begin to see all the different voices and how the different paths to the one source within us is, there's such different voices, and yet they're all saying the same thing. And also to cultivate tolerance and appreciation that even if we don't agree with each other, we don't have to destroy each other, which is what we're doing in the name of politics and religion right now. And to take back our power now. Each individual needs to take back their power and wake up and stop being a sheeple and become a human being waking up to their divinity. And then, nobody can control us, and we can really create these new harmonics of sharing and abundance for all.
Yeah, you touched on an important point, and I want to elevate that a little bit. When I talk about the effects of the products I create, I always tell people you need to approach it with a childlike mind, right? Be that child, because when an infant is born, there is no conditioning, maybe up till 8 or 10 months. Everything to them in the world is magic. Everything is magic. Yeah. And, over time, as we learn through schooling and our interaction in society, we become conditioned not to think like that anymore. And, when you look at a product like Aquaware that has the ability to structure water anywhere on the planet with intent, people are like, huh? And the mechanics behind it are so in tune with everything in nature. It's just to wrap that. It's very simple. And when you put yourself in that childlike.
But you see, people are so addicted to the mind, which is addicted to complexity, that's what stops. The truth is, we don't really have problems. These are all man-made problems, and we've given our power to so-called authorities, whether it's religion or politics or whatever. And it's time to take that power back. And as each individual does, then one Gandhi shifted everything, and he did it through nonviolence. One Martin Luther shifted everything. One Joan of Arc shifted everything. And so, there's plenty on the planet for everybody, and we will then, they're already, Tesla stuff and all this non-fossil fuel energy. So every single problem on the planet is being artificially created, except the problem of the fact that we were asleep for 26,000 years, and this fight, flight, and control has to come to an end, or we're going to destroy like we did at the time of Atlantis.
Yeah. Absolutely. Tell us about the time of Atlantis, please. That's always been a favorite topic of mine.
Well, basically, we don't want to, it was an amazing civilization, very, very advanced, and we are paralleling back at that time on the ecliptic, 26,000 years. And this time, it's not to sink again. And that's why, many of us have those memories of, drowning and so on. But as some of us, we moved. The pure souls, we moved in a spaceship from Atlantis to the Great Pyramid of Giza and ancient Egypt, and created and all of that, and created golden ages of Hathor and pharaohs. And when that started decaying and went into corruption, then a few pure souls, we went to and onto becoming the Essenes. And then Jesus was one of these Essenes who who further, brought that embodiment of the Christ energy, which is the unity consciousness energy for this planet. And before him was Akhenaton in ancient Egypt, except Akhenaton got into the fight between the dark and the light, and it's the dark now. And the dark isn't outside of ourselves. Satan is just our projection of our own inner darkness, and the darkness is an illusion ultimately. The mind, creates these illusions. And so we just need to embrace it and love ourselves, forgive ourselves, and then Atlantis doesn't have to be recreated, because otherwise we're going to go into our transhumanist agendas and so on. And then the conspiracy theories, the doom gloom theories, all that will come true, and we have choice. And I'm certain that some of us are working, non-stop. We've sacrificed everything we have. We've been born on this planet to help the wake-up cycle. And I feel we will, and all of humanity will join in slowly or surely. I mean, how do you feel about that?
I use myself as a perfect example, so I know it's happening. Prior to my wake-up experience, I was...
And what we focus on is what we get, so let's focus on that energy of the heart. Let's focus on, and this is not just the romantic, emotional heart, There's a very important chapter in the Divine Mother Speaks called Healing is Feeling, and it covers universal law, and so moving those energies is important for singing, dancing, painting, writing, being in nature, and whatever it takes, going for a swim in the ocean, and then clearing our imprinting, as Peter has just said, because that's what we have to do. We already are masters. We already are all that is, but we have forgotten. We've forgotten. We're not just the body. We're not just the mind. We're not the field, being the mind, body, and the intellect. We are the knower of the field. We are the knower of the mind, body, and the intellect. And ultimately, we are nothing, unmanifest, 0 point, void energy, from which the manifest comes true. Once we connect to that void nothingness energy, then, the manifest can be whatever you want within free will and universal law.
Oh, absolutely. But what I was saying before was...
Not simple, really.
Donna, do we have any more questions for Rashmi?
We do not.
Okay.
No more questions.
Rashmi, can you please let the MDM listening audience know how they can get in touch with you?
Well, I'm on Facebook, and I have Facebook pages for Buddha Speaks, the Divine Mother Speaks, Buddha Speaks. I have websites, RashmiKhilnani.com, which I'm sure you put on the links here, and ReikiEnergyMastery.com, and the film is iCloudTheFilm.com. It's also available on Amazon, Beyond Words, and you can download it on iTunes. You can get a DVD, or you can get the Blu-ray version, or from Neale Donald Walsch's website. And all the books are on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, No Kindle, and so on.
Awesome. Donna, do you have anything else, or we're at the end of our hour now?
We are, and of course, just to say what a awesome treat it was, Rashmi, to have you with us tonight, especially the time difference. So thank you. We're very excited to have you here with us and talking to our audience, but also just to let folks know, we will have the links posted for this show. Best way to really to take this show in, again, when you replay it, put some earphones in. Put your earphones in, sit back, especially with the blessings that Peter did, and also the energy and the chanting that Rashmi did. Take that in with your earphones in, for sure. And then, of course, the other thing is, next week, we're back at our regular time at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
Awesome. Rashmi, thank you. It's been a real pleasure having you on the show. And of course, with the time change, again, double thank you for that. We really appreciate all your wisdom and knowledge. And, you know, it's definitely an eye-opener.
Thank you so much. I'll send energy for all your projects, and maybe we can do another show sometime. And
absolutely.
Many, many blessings. Do post the YouTube show for me as and when it comes through.
We will.
And if there's anything else you want to share on my wall, feel free to do so if you're the gizmos you've produced.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.
Good night, everyone.